Good morning from Houston, Texas. How are y'all doing? Welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm your host, John Ting, and I'm here to share any responses, provide guidance on help you taking the next step on your case, or even to help you file your own case. Ultimately, I know we call ourselves immigration problem solvers, but it'd be great if we can help you prevent those problems by, just stay tuned to our channel. We try our best to share um, information that could help prevent you from suffering through that problem. Really, the one thing though that is very common to any case. Okay, mic's on. Is that many cases are stuck, are delayed. It could be at the petition processing, step number one. It could be at the waiver stage. If usually waivers, for the most part, people who have unlawful presence and enter without a visa. And then another situation is if your case requires you to have an interview abroad, whether you're in the States right now or outside, it does. You're gonna have to go through consular processing. That's what it's called. Okay, so if you're doing an internet search, Google or Bing search, the key phrase is consular processing. So of course, there's a lot of information on the government websites, uscs.gov, or the state travel.state.gov. Okay, gov. So with that all being said, though, of course, with the information online, most people don't realize that the U.S. government agencies don't really care about your case. Think about it. It's not a private company. It's not a for-profit company. They don't have internal. They may have their own internal goals, but they don't have their own system to push your case along. So I know you call in and you ask about, or you tell us that you've submitted so many inquiries, and you really don't get any different response that's substantial to help you understand what's going on. So for the most part, it means your case is stuck, and really because this has happened before the pandemic. Pandemic just made this problem, just highlighted the issue much more, because now it's on average about 500,000 people waiting for an interview. Those are just people outside America, not even talking about the people in America. So, anyways, off my rant, but the solution here, folks, is called a mandamus lawsuit. Of course, it might not be for everyone. All right. It just depends on the situation. We have a chart, but depending on the case type, and unreasonable processing times, if it's beyond that processing times. I don't necessarily pay too much attention necessarily to the processing timetable on the USCIS website, but we do take that into consideration to determine if we should file a lawsuit or not. Now, I do see, hey, Luis, what's going on? Nice to see you. All right. Well, I'm also here, of course, to answer any questions. That's the point of these shows that I'll be conducting every day. I'm going to try my best to go live every day, at least 15 minutes, hopefully 30 minutes. But, if you're new to our channel, please subscribe down below. And if you enjoy our content, the way we share it, please smash the like button. So if anytime you're asked, like, well, where is this information coming from? Please ask. We always want to provide you the source. Social media and YouTube, it's a crazy thing. You can't take it at face value. So even if I say something, or another YouTube influencer, content creators share something, you really want to get the source. Okay. That's what I highly recommend, because, now that I have 2 little kids, I'm trying to protect them from social media, as interesting, as ironic this is. But for social media, for us, for Teen Law Group, this is our way of conducting basically like know your rights presentations that we used to do in person. So that's why we have the mindset of sharing knowledge, so you can make an educated, informed decision about your case, whether you started your case or you haven't started at all. Okay. It's a lot of strategy. Okay. So to answer your question, Luis, let's take a look at what you got here. And by the way, if you are interested to join the studio, in the sense, of course, not physically in person, but live on the show, let me know and I can share the link. Okay. let's see here. In the 90s, you're a victim of gang-related assault. I'm very sorry that happened. You're living, I guess, in the U.S. at the time. I'm assuming that's what you mean. The cops came and apprehended and report was filed. Do you qualify for U visa? Um, the It's tough because it's from the 90s. So there's a lot of requirements for U visa, just like any immigration benefit, any case type. Tip So you might already know, yes, typically you need to file a police report because you want to cooperate with law enforcement. It could be with a sheriff, county sheriff, it could be any law enforcement agency. However, within the department of the law enforcement agency, they could have their own internal requirements. So a most common one is a timing of your request. So you could take a look at it. They might have it online. Most departments don't have it online though. Is there guidelines for a victim? You could just search like victim services or U visa certification. They could have it online, but they most likely don't. But if they don't, then you definitely want to call in to the department and ask, because USCIS is not going to tell you, oh, you got the 918, you got the certification many years later after your incident, okay, of the assault. They're not going to go into that. What they're going to go into in terms of USCIS is more about, is your certification form I-918B that's signed by the proper authorized personnel with the law enforcement. It's not necessarily the person that, like the detective or the person that went to your house or the location. It's not necessarily that person. It's someone higher level that can sign it. Anyway, USCIS can only accept these 918B forms if it's signed less than 6 months at the time they receive it. So you or your attorney or whoever you hire professional might be excited that you have this certification form, but it's workflow, folks. Our workflow tells us, okay, our systems push the case along to say we need to send that definitely before even 5 months. Okay, we have no reason to wait. All right, so Luis, the thing is, you need to check with the department that you filed that police report or incident report, and check if they allow, if they are willing, if their internal policy is to allow signing, if there's any restriction on the timing of the incident. Okay, because yours is what year is this? 2022. It's about 32 years, more or less, right? So try that out. Okay, I hope it works. Um, let's see, your second comment here. You left the U.S. or you left the country in 2005 and caught twice at the border, fingerprinted, and your wife is a U.S. citizen. Do you have any chance with any of this info? Um, well, if it was U visa, then then you can get by possibly. Of course, USCIS you would need to file a waiver application. Okay, I believe it's the I-192. I get that one mixed up with the one that's a fee waiver form, but I believe it's the I-192, and you can add any information in there that gives a possibility that there's grounds or reasons for inadmissibility. Think about the word inadmissibility as a reason for the government to try to remove you from the country, aka deportation. Now, so they could waive. We've had clients where we waived any prior unlawful entries and re-entries. We've been able to do that. Even folks that have been accused of smuggling or prostitution because of T visa, trafficking visa, for example. But here's the deal: if you were to go through sponsorship through your spouse, U.S. citizen spouse, that's going to be more difficult. Okay, this is just looking at the notes that you have shared with us right here. Cut twice at the border. You know, we need to know a little bit more detail, so call in. But typically, for most people, if they have already entered America without a visa, uh, there's just so many different scenarios. There's actually a page. We actually have a guide about this, about unlawful presence and triggering a waiver. But you want to prevent the triggering of a waiver, triggering of the unlawful presence. Okay, so but most people run into a situation where there's a permanent bar. That doesn't necessarily mean you can't get immigration benefit like a residency or a visa in the future, but you need to wait 10 years outside America. So and you need to show proof of it. So that's why. So that's just something to consider. But I highly recommend there's YouTube, right? We're just chatting here live here. But for yours, anyone in a similar situation about entry and leaving without status and all that, unlawful presence, please call in or speak to any attorney about it to get proper advice about your specific situation. Okay. So here's our number right up here, 720-740-4247. Or you can contact us on the website. Then you can go down to the description box, greencardguys.com. And you can, answer the intake form, answer the form on our contact us page, is what I meant to say. And Marlon, great question. Yes, I meant to say this in the beginning. We do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion with one of our attorneys if you qualify for it. Now, unfortunately, we get so many calls. We greatly appreciate it. We love to help people. That is part of our mission, to help you live and work for freedom. Okay, there's no restriction. Live and work in America with all your rights. Okay, now here's the deal. For the free 15 minutes, this is the first step. Okay, you need to get the secret code. We offered that towards the end of the show. So roughly, if you don't mind staying on for about 10 more minutes, always have a lot of information to share. You're welcome, Luis. So, but let me show you how you can, after you get that secret code, all right, let me show you how you can access our website, how it looks like. It's going to be very similar. I need to update this little promo here. But you go to our website, go to the contact us page, answer a few questions, and then it will take you to another page where you can schedule a free 15 minutes. There are some appointment boxes down below the forum, but that's for paid consultations if you need more time. Alrighty, so let's see. Let's see if any more questions. Hey, Kim, nice to see you. All right, thanks for tuning in. By the way, if you're just tuning in, let me know where you're watching from. I think it's always interesting to see, to learn how far the YouTube channel has reached. It's been about 2 years now, I believe, a little over 2 years. So it's a lot of work, of course, as you can imagine. We love to share information, but just putting the time in to do that, to get it done. So let's see here. See if my team has any. Sometimes my team is able to share some scenarios that people go through, of course, without us sharing names of people. But I can go into one thing here is that a common scenario that unfortunately people are stuck in is the filing of 485. Okay, and they lost their status, non-immigrant visa status. Okay, and even though you may have filed a 485 adjustment of status application, okay, even though you filed that and you believe that it's that it stops your unlawful presence. Okay, however, the key difference here is a failure to maintain status. So you really need to look at that. Okay, the difference between like non-immigrant, like if people have lost their, let's say, overstayed their F1 or B1, B2, if it was like an immediate relative, this is what I'm looking at here on the website. I'm gonna share with you here. Again, I like to share what I'm looking at. Let me see the share button. Let me see where it's at. Okay, there it is. I like to share the source. So this is where it's at. Chapter 3, we always like to refer to the policy manual of unlawful immigrant status, time of filing. Just one example where if you overstay your visa and it doesn't matter, is this section right here. Okay, this top part. So the most common, oop, maybe a little too big. The most common are people who are immediate relatives. And the most common one out of that, there's three different scenarios for immediate relatives, but the most common on that one is the marriage to a US citizen. So if someone, we have plenty of people that call and say, well, I'm married to a resident. Can that waive my unlawful presence overstaying? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. So that's why we always encourage folks who are residents and married to an undocumented or immigrant, foreign national who overstay the visa is to upgrade your status to become a US citizen. Of course, waiting until you're eligible to apply. That way, because if you file a petition now as a resident, but then later you become a U.S. citizen, unfortunately, the policy is that you have to file a new petition as a U.S. citizen. You can't just use the same petition. So it'll be another $535. So again, this is an example of just talking strategy, depending on your case, depending on your life circumstances. Maybe you're abroad, outside America, or you're in the States. Now, here's another example on when this unlawful presence to the adjustment of status to get a residency does not apply. Okay. And that's VAWA, Violence Against Women Act. All right. Violence Against Women Act does not mean it's only for females, the female gender. It's also for males. Okay. And they actually made that expansive. Okay. In the law, fortunately, we do receive calls from males also in these kind of scenarios. We're going to share more videos about this. Speaking of, speaking of videos, if you got TikTok, I'm not going to encourage you to join TikTok if you're not on it already. But if you like TikTok or anyway, please give us a follow. Green Card Guys _ John. I'm trying to, hey, it's not me dancing all the time. All right. I've been told that I need to learn some new dance moves. Okay. So those are just a couple examples. I believe I do have a video out there from the past talking about more of those different scenarios where that can overstay your visa is okay and they waive it, unlawful presence, without requiring a waiver. So I'll prepare another recording about that specifically. Let's see. I got a couple more questions here. Your PD, okay. Prior date, okay, because we use the acronym PD for a couple different scenarios. December 27, 2020, final action, June 20. Case was transferred to another office on October 1st. What's your is it family preference? What category or employment-based preference? Which one is it? Can you give me a better idea on that? Did you try to, are you, and also Cam, are you in the States or are you abroad? Okay, that might determine some information. And do you have legal status right now in terms of non-immigrant status if you're in the U.S.? In the meantime, while you're gathering those notes, if you're still on, please share that. Gabby, thanks for joining. Excuse me. You have prima facie. You got your combo card last month. Thank goodness. I'm very happy for you. Yeah, I know. I know a lot of people have been waiting a long time. And let's see, biometrics last week. Okay, great. Oh, you got your combo card before your biometrics? Interesting. Okay. I know that they have started, USCIS has started separating out the process, even though you file, assuming you're talking about, well, if you mention prima facie, you're probably not talking about like a marriage type case. So you're probably talking about like U visa. Did you get a bona fide? I think when you say prima facie, you mean like the bona fide determination for U visa? Oh, VAWA, right. Okay. Yep. Combo card, great. What's the next step? Okay, so you got to check your visa bulletin. That's what we were just talking about. I was referring to with Kim. Visa bulletin. Let me share that website if I can. And I'll drop it in the comments section after the show, or at least one of my team members. Let me type in visa bulletin. It's with the State Department. Okay. This is even though you filed your first application, I-360 with USCIS, you want to rely on the visa bulletin. Let me see. Okay, I can add to the stream here. Alrighty. I don't know why it shows it like this. Okay. All right. This is the visa bulletin. And oh, interesting. I could do it like that. Very cool. All right. We got the current visa bulletin. So I hope this information helps you. It might not be specific to your situation, but you scroll down. Okay, you scroll down and you see the first section is about family-based relationships, and then VAWA, okay, falls under here, okay, number 4. So typically it's current, okay, EB4. Oh wow, they really dissected these here. So EB4, depending on your country. All right, we have another video about this on our channel, probably about a year ago, about how to read this. But just pretty quickly here, rely on chart B first if possible, because then you know how to take action when you're ready for the next step. Okay, right? That's what you're asking about. Um, yeah, what's the next step? Of course. So you want to keep track of this? Check out the priority date on your notice, 797C. 797C. I mean, a lot of notices have the 797C on the top right, but basically your receipt notice also has a priority date in the middle, top middle. Um, Gabby, I don't want to guess which country you're a national of, but anyway, you scroll down employment base, and then you go here, okay? And they have here like, China, mainland born, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, India, Mexico, Philippines, because those are the cases that receive the most applications. So because of that, they have more of a backlog in that situation. Um, let's see. Hopefully that helps. And okay, so with that being said, okay, I need to go full circle for you. And that after you check that and your prior, let's say your date shows like it's current for a lot of these countries, but let me just use an example of if you're a national of El Salvador, Guatemala, or Honduras, and then your prior date. Um, Sorry, Luis. This recording, as soon as we complete the live show, which is fairly soon, maybe about 5 minutes, it's gonna be there automatically. Okay, so hopefully that helps. But Luis, if anything, you're welcome to, anyone has a question, you're welcome to call in or answer a couple questions on our website down below, and we can better assist you to guide you if necessary. Doesn't mean you have to sign up. No one ever has to sign up. There's no, not like any pressure. It's just to share information so that you don't have to watch the video again. But I appreciate it. It'll be right after the show. Okay, so let me share this. So if you had a priority date, Gabby, for example, that was um, let's see, it shows April 2018. So if you had one that was, let's say, like before April 2008 or older, I guess you could say, is what I mean by before. Let's say March 2018, then that means you can proceed to the next step, which is filing, assuming you're in America, of course, which is filing the 485 application. All right. So, but you have the combo card. I think that's what you said. You have the combo card. So, um, maybe you already filed the 485. It just depends on everyone's scenario. So in that case, then you have to wait for the interview. Okay. And just on average, at least 12 months is usually what we share for the 485 interview. If you have an interview, you might not require one for VAWA. Most likely not. So, oh, you're in Illinois. Okay. Yeah. We're going to share. You know what, Luis, appreciate it. Let me go ahead and share the code. And here it is, folks. Here's the benefits of hiring our team. If you like to, the code is green card guys. You could have guessed it. I wanted to keep it simple, so there it is on the bottom left of your screen. And of course, if you need to come back to watch a video because you forgot the code for some reason, it's not hard. But if for some reason you forgot it, you can always watch any video. It should be it should be there. I try my best to remember to share it with y'all. Let me see. Did I answer everyone's question? You take your lunch at 11:30, Illinois. Oh, okay. So you probably already taking your lunch. I'm pretty sure you're Central Time. I'm in Texas. Let's see. Okay. Back to Chem. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. EB3 unskilled, and you got F1. F1, yeah, student visa. Okay. Good. Glad you have your student visa. And let's see. Did you tell me your country? I don't think so. I'm not trying to look back here. I don't think I have your country. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking at the visa bulletin right now for you, Cam. You said that your PD is December 2020. Uh-huh. EB3. Okay, other workers. Yeah. If you're saying you're still waiting, then maybe you're from China, mainland, or India. That's what I'm suspecting because final action went. Oh, Turkey. Interesting. Well, I'm sorry. I say interesting because I wonder why your final action shows June 2020 then. Okay, I see it now. Yep. Okay, yep. All right, so let me share my screen. Oh, maybe I made it too big. Okay, there we go. That's better. That's better to see. Okay, yeah, so final action, June 2020 here. And I'm assuming your perm process is part of it is done already, right? It should be by now, 2020, my goodness. Let's see. Okay, so everyone, for folks that are wondering about, so have you, it's October 4th, 2022. By the way, folks, did y'all know it's National Taco Day? I just found out this morning I need to go get a taco. It just makes sense in America, at least. I don't know if you are not living in America right now, you are planning to come to America. One of the first things you need to do in that week is get a taco. Okay. At least from Texas. Okay. I don't know how the tacos are in other cities. My team has been talking about that all day. Luis, yes, we speak Spanish. Hablo español poquito, pero mi equipo habla español. Gracias. Wow, that is the first time I pulled out Spanish on the show. All right, Cam. So back to you, Turkey. All right, Cam. Did you file your 485 application? Have you had a chance to do that? Because let me share my screen again. Other workers, right? This is chart B, okay? Dates of filing the next step. All right. It's time to file your it's time to file your 45. Okay, good. Okay. Glad to hear that. All right. That's good. So now, January 18th. Okay, great. January 18th, 2022. Now it's October, 10 months. All right, let's see if we can pull up the processing time. So this is the next step to check out. All right. Oh, you saw all my bookmarks. All the crazy stuff that I have to keep track of. Case processing times. Love this website. It's so helpful sometimes. Okay, let's make it a little bigger for y'all. Select the form 485. Now, don't get all crazy about this stuff, okay? Employment-based. What service center are you at? Let's just pick, in the meantime, let's just pick California, our favorite service center, unfortunately. 27 and a half months. That's why it's actually not our favorite. But let's see. Let me go back one. They have a new feature, by the way. You could type in your receipt date, so it can give you an idea of, okay, well, you said Nebraska. Okay, well, let's go to yours. Okay, Nebraska. Oops. Let's do this again. Okay. I want to share this because I know a lot of y'all are anxious. Nebraska, get processing times. Now, again, just take this 18 and a half months. So you're what, got about 8 more months according to this processing time schedule. Don't take it for, word for word. But if it's definitely past um, the processing times, then you might want to consider a mandamus lawsuit. Okay. But right now, it's too early for you. Okay. All right. So add to the stream. Okay. So you can add your receipt date. I know what it's going to say, but let's just say your receipt date is January 1st, 2022. Get inquiry date. What this means, folks, is that, people always ask, can I file inquiry? Right now, it's saying your case is processing normally, aka don't bother USCIS. That's what they're trying to say. Don't bother them. Okay, you might just get a robot reply to you in the meantime into your email. The earliest you can submit a question is December 25th, 2023. That is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You pay a fee. You should know what's going on with your case, right? But I can say that USCIS is trying to do better. I mean, during Trump administration didn't have this option. Okay, this is new. Maybe maybe technology was so slow or internal processing that they were trying to get this done during Trump administration. Who knows? Don't want to play the game about politics, but and not trying to say that Democrats are the only party trying to help with or truly want to help. So which I'm going to record a video about that, about reform. Okay. So anyways, you're welcome, Cam. Thank you so much. And by the way, we appreciate any feedback. If you enjoy our services, our content that we share here, please smash the like button. And if you're new to our channel, subscribe down below. Again, the code is Green Card Guys if you need some help for a free 15-minute appointment. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.